But first off, why don't you just, to change a little of the dynamic here, why don't you give up like what until now it's your understanding of a geo, right? To make sure that I properly communicated it.
Oh, dude. Okay. For me, Geo are gaming organizations that kind of like work around or live around either a specific game, a specific platform for games, or a specific purpose as a tribe or a guild. These gaming organizations have their own economics, have their own systems in place, and what else could I say about that? It's kind of like a tribe movement, around gaming for me with a business gaming mindset, something like that to summarize it.
Okay.
Am I?
Business gaming, right? That's what you said.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess you could look at it. Yeah, I mean, it can be a business, but it can also be for fun as well, right? Like I would definitely say that um, gaming communities, many of them are gathered together purely just for enjoying themselves, right? Or gaming guilds as well, right? Um, I do think it's time to like allow them to evolve into more, let's say, sophisticated or organizations, but a lot of it is for fun too. But yeah, so basically, GEOs, as we call them, gaming ecosystem organizations, is what revolves around the game, right? People usually only talk about the games, right? Like everybody talks about Fortnite, everybody talks about Roblox, but nobody usually talks about all the organizations around it that allow it to be the success that it is, right? Like, for example, I think that it's something like around 30% of Roblox income comes from maps that were developed by third parties, right? And these developers are making something, I think it was something like $800 million a year in Roblox, right? So that's pretty impressive, right? That's something that didn't used to be the case, right? In the past, who made money from the game? Only the game designer, right? Like nobody would make money out of a Nintendo game other than Nintendo. So now it seems that we're heading off into a more social and ecosystem way of thinking with gaming, right? Um, so basically, and obviously among that is esports. I mean, esports like keeps alive a lot of these games, right? Um, like on your side, Freak, which is kind of like your favorite game to watch in terms of competitions.
Oh, for me, it's PUBG, bro. I love PUBG. I'm a PUBG freak.
And how much would you say that these competitions have brought you to PUBG, right? Like in the sense of like out of 100% time that you're either watching or playing PUBG, how much of that percentage would you say that you're there because there's a PUBG competition?
I'm not since I'm not competitive, not much, but what I can tell you is usually when I'm playing PUBG in my other screen, I'm streaming someone playing PUBG.
Yeah, yeah. No, I didn't mean that you compete, right? But that you watch,
Oh,
right? That you stream or that you're watching. Like how
oh
many
no.
times does the brand PUBG pop into your face because of a competition?
Oh no, it's if it's not an official competition, it can be like a friendly competition or a guild competition. It's I'm trying to get it all the time, It's kind of like
Mhm.
for me it's not watching TV. I watch these things.
Exactly, right? So many of these games right now are only alive because they are competitive, right? Because games have usually a very short life cycle, right? Like they release massive hype, a lot of people join, and then it dies a slow death, right? That's unusual for games. That's not weird. That is the norm. So the fact that now we have these games without doing like a V2, right? Like, because in the past you would have, the first edition, the second edition, the third edition of a game. Now we have some games who release, and because they're about social engagement and competitiveness, they can actually survive for years. And obviously they're being upgraded. right? But it's still the same game, right? It's not like we're really not taking a major risk in terms of supporting a given project, right? Um, and that's kind of like a good segue, right, into the ISPO conversation, right? So ISPOs can, right now, that's kind of like the current incarnation that we have them in, right, as we know them within the Cardano world. And for anybody that's listening, it's the first time you've been a part of an ISPO, or if you're listening to the recording and you don't know what an ISPO is, basically an initial stateful offering is a mechanism in which a project sets up a node, be it a Cardano node, a Polkadot node. And usually when people delegate to these nodes, right, they delegate their ADA, their DOT in the Polkadot world, you generate new rewards, right? If it's you in Cardano, you're generating ADA rewards. And from these ADA rewards, you usually split them with the delegator, right? But an ISPO takes this concept and says, no, the node providers, we're going to keep 100% of the rewards, and we're going to give you our project token in exchange, right? So you're actually supporting two projects. You're supporting the Cardano network, making sure it's secure, and you're supporting a new project to generate, kind of like cash flow from that. And that's kind of like the current incarnation, but then you can look at it as well as a new way of doing subscriptions, right? Like
I
in
was gonna say
Web3.
that.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna ask you that. Doesn't it, like, if it doesn't work as a subscription?
Yeah, it works in a very similar way to a subscription, which is something that Web3 has tried to solve for so long. Because, in Web3, you own your assets, right? Like, I can't take your money, unlike a credit card that I can, just make a charge to. So there's been a struggle there in Web3. How do you have a sustainable, recurrent cash flow from your customers, clients, community members, whatever it is, right? And or your supporters, right? In general, let's say it like that, right? Because it might be a client, it might be just a fan, whatever it is. But the point is that it's people that want to support your initiative, right? So with ISPOs, we can do that, right? It works in a very similar way to a subscription, except that it's even better in the sense that you're not even spending your own capital, right? You're just doing a delegation. So we believe that this is going to be a key mechanism for these geos going forward, right? The gaming ecosystem organizations, right? Um, how to go about it, right? It's something that there's we have many ideas in our head, but that's kind of like our current way of thinking, right? That we're going to bring this concept to the traditional gaming world.
Dude, it's for me, coming from the gaming world, and coming from a gaming perspective, and look at it in the Web3 space. I think is this is the what gaming was waiting for. And even if some games are not seeing it as it should,
Mm-hmm.
for gamers, this is the future. So I'm totally confident that we're gonna change the way we create these guilds, teams, these clans, that even the esports team are gonna change all the dynamics, and Web3 is gonna push this to a whole different level, where you can actually tell your kids, as you tell your kids, oh, I want you to be a lawyer, oh, I want you to be a soccer player. I think it's gonna come to a point where you say, like, oh, you should be an esports, you should be like a professional gamer.
That's already the case in Korea. Like it is legit the case. There are parents telling their kids right now, like, hey, you should really focus on your esports, man.
And when you look at those esports teams, they're even trained, they're training body, mind, everything. It's not only the game itself, is their whole life. So it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, no, it's a profession, let's say, right? Like so,
It's a-
and just to be clear, right? Geos are not only about esports, but they're one of the probably the most known form of them. So yeah, there's it's growing a lot, and I think that it's probably going to be the dominant art form, right, going forward, right? Because for me, gaming is a new art form, right? It's a form of storytelling, right? Just like the cinema, just like music, just like literature. Games are a way to tell a story, to communicate values, to be able to connect with culture, right? And what people represent. So yeah, I think that going forward, just like how, for example, every brand on the planet, doesn't matter if they're selling, soda, burgers, cars, whatever they're using, whatever they're selling, they're using music, right? As a way to communicate, right? There's not a commercial without music.
Hmm.
There's not an event without music. Like music is just ingrained into the very nature of human interactions and communication. And I believe gaming will be exactly the same, right? Like everything that you do, like you won't have an event without some sort of gamification for the event, right? You won't have an app without some sort of gamified, engaging experience within your app. So everything that you do is going to be revolved around this new art form, right, of gaming that's going to be about connecting with your audience, whatever it is that you do, right? And that's where geos, tribes, and having all of this tooling for them, like ISPOs and management and other stuff, is going to be key, right? Because we haven't done this, right? It sounds kind of like intuitive a little bit. Like if I tell you let's do a gamified event, everybody's like, oh yeah, of course. But then how do you go about it, right? And what if you're not specialized in it, right? So I think that that's kind of like the path that we're headed towards.
I love it. And I want to say welcome to the Rabbit. Hello, Rabbit. Good morning. You're here. So we're talking about some of the topics you also like a lot. You're also a gamer.
Yes, I am a gamer. I have been a gamer since like 1978.
Yeah. I don't
I
think
am
there's anybody in crypto
OG.
that's never gamed. Like everybody in crypto has played some games sometimes.
I'm a hardcore gamer. Like I haven't played since Mid Journey, ChatGPT, Gen 1, Gen 2, and AI came into my life and became an obsession. I haven't played, but it's because I found a different game, bro.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
So I
Like,
don't know, Freak. Just a side question. I'm curious. Do you have you passed on kind of like the gamer ethos to your kids?
yep, of
Is it
course.
like in their blood? Because it's like my boys like came out of their mom like playing video games.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Is the same for my girls. Both my girls are hardcore gamers. Minecraft. The biggest one is a lot into Roblox, and the little one is pure Minecraft and Just Dance. She dances all day.
well, here's the interesting thing. Okay, when you talk about gamification, I was listening in, kind of like the things that Carlos was saying. When you're dealing with games like Roblox, I'll just tell a quick little story here. It's like I walked in on my son, and he was arguing. I could hear him arguing with this adult, and I'm like, "What's going on here?" And he's like, well, I didn't actually say what's going on. I just kind of like listened, and he's like,
Hmm.
"Listen, listen, listen." He's like, how did he put it? He said, this is what I do. He's like, I buy your stuff low and I sell it high. I don't owe you a damn thing for doing that. Deal with it. I buy and sell art in Roblox. And the kid's like freaking 11 years old.
Hmm.
And it's like, I'm like, hey man, you want a crypto wallet? It's like, it's like that kind of being able to step into a game and actually have the infrastructure around you to be able to create these shops and like actually learn kind of like market and um being able to create marketing and sales and all this stuff. And this kid's I mean in the world of Roblox, he's not making a lot of like real world money, but when you look at his sales and you look at the stuff that the kid is doing at his age,
Hmm.
he's like it would be the equivalent of like making like $200,000 a year if it was like real world money. So it's like it's not
He's
it's not
balling.
just about the Yeah, it's not just about the game and playing the game. It's about like learning differently and learning like real world skills inside of games.
Yeah, and safer, right? Because obviously, it'd be tough for you to let an 11-year-old kid running around the city selling art, but he can do it in the game, right? So, yeah, I mean, there's always obviously some things to be wary of, but in general, it's like way better. So yeah. Basically, I think that as we move forward, more and more companies are going to need to build out these new platforms for gaming, so that these organizations can actually have a way to again tap into capital, tap into growth, generate additional revenue sources, right? Going back to the ISPO example, like imagine if you're subscribed to the ISPO of, let's say, Mr. Beast esports team, right? And then you're getting access to exclusive events based on how much you've delegated, how long you've delegated. Then after X amount of time, he ships you a T-shirt or something like that. So it kind of works like a subscription model in that sense, and a way to also reward loyalty and support from your community, right?
That's what gets me, more excited, and the most excited about ISPOs, because as creators, we're always trying to figure out how to monetize our craft. And all these things you're talking about are kind of like a new door, a new like way to open that. But it comes to what we work on is tribal economies, tribe economies.
Mm-hmm.
So empowering everyone, and ISPOs are the perfect way to not only build a business model, but also build up a community. Because when you're staking, you're staking for a time, for a long time. So in the more people stake is better for all. So it becomes kind of like a, how do you say, a collective act to make
Mm-hmm.
that tribe or that project or that whatever it is work. So
Mm-hmm.
how is this looking now, and connecting it to the DEGA ISPO? How do you see this coming into our ecosystem, and what are the things happening right now that are going to allow to make this like an option for everyone in our community?
Well, we're already experimenting ourselves with gamification, right? For everybody in the community, we love you, but do know this: the rabbit and I are always cooking up things about how to, build out products, how to gamify new strategies, right? How to truly deliver value to you, right? And how to connect with you in different ways, right? So, gamification is a tool for that, right? That's why you'll see that our ISPO has all of these different types of bonuses related to our partnerships, related to the pre-mint pass. There's more stuff coming, by the way. And right now, just recently, we announced, right, the grand challenge, right? Something to bring the entire DEGA community together, right, with a single, very specific goal and purpose. And actually, why don't you go about and explain that one, Rabbit? It was your idea.
So grand challenges were always, it was something that Carlos and I have been talking about, these kind of like grand community challenges, something that brings us together as a group, allows places for content to be created, for us to talk to each other, to engage with one another. But it's not like, if you've noticed, there's been challenges that have come out that are, I wouldn't necessarily say they're easier, but it's like we wanted to create something that was like, when you're playing like a World of Warcraft or any of those kind of like, online, any kind of online game, they give you like a raid, which is kind of like a huge, where you got to bring together like tons of people to take on like this huge boss. So Carlos and I talked last week about, well, what would raid level content be like around the ISVO? And we're like, well, we got to make it like a really hard goal to reach, where we have to work together, um, not just you all, but us too. How can we help? So it's like the entire community working together to be able to do something big. So the grand challenge is it's pretty much like a big goal that we need to reach, which is 40, a 40 million ADA goal. We're giving you a long period of time to do that because it is so hard. But the rewards at the end of that are massive. Now, Carlos and I were talking, I think it was like on Wednesday, and Carlos is like, I have never seen anybody in crypto like attempt a reward this big, from airdrops to, you know, NFTs, anything. It's like, I've never seen anyone try and attempt something like this. And you'll see that coming out of DEGA a lot. We like to be the first to try these things out. So this first one is, there's going to be others after this. But this first one is, it's just a massive reward of 200% of your DEGA rewards. So, if successful, everyone is pretty much going to get tripled. So, even just a small band of the tribe bands together and like makes this thing happen for everybody, everyone is going to benefit from this, not just the people who participated. It'll be a ISPO wide award for all people staking on ADA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we know some people, they might not have a time and a specific date or a specific week or something, but the fact that they're delegating to us, that's already, they're already part of the tribe, right? They're already supporting us, right? Because everybody that's delegating to the ISPO is allowing DEGA to happen, right?
Yes.
DEGA can't happen without that. So the fact that they're there is already signaling their support for us, and allowing DEGA to happen is good for everybody that's part of it in that sense, right? So that's why the reward is for everybody, right? Obviously, just like in every, let's say, group, right? Be it in your neighborhood, in your company, in your group of friends, in your family, there's always leaders that arise. So for all of you here in the space, right, this is an opportunity for you to take up the challenge and rise to the occasion, right? And become a leader, right, within the tribe and make this happen, right?
Yeah. So it's, Freak's always talking about tribes. This is the opportunity to, show strength of, like Carlos said, of your leadership, of your ability to organize something. And those people are going to rise to the top. Like as soon as it was announced, like, I don't know, 10 key members of our community just like were like, boom, how are we going to do this? Let's get organized. Let's create our own channel. And it's like, I think I see a couple of these guys on here right now who are really pushing for this thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is it's like, it's meant to be hard. This is not, I was looking on the channel this morning and someone's like, oh, this is going to be really hard. We're not going to be able to do this. Well, if you step into the situation with that kind of mindset, how are you going to be successful? It's like, it just started yesterday. You have 3 epochs to try and get this done. So, use the first, like strategically, use the first epoch to get like organized, get everybody organized, get everything all set up, start experimenting, see what works, see what doesn't, quickly iterate on your strategy, change what you're doing, dust off, think of all of the, like what Carlos and I like to say, where's the white hot center to go after? How do we engage with that white hot center to bring more people into the ISPO? Like, that's the kind of things that you should be thinking about. And don't focus on the reward, focus on the journey to get there. And then the results will come along with that effort. I mean, we're already seeing movement. We basically not even engaged with some of the strategies that I'm seeing coming out of the community right now, and we're already in movement. So keep focusing, keep pushing. We are here to help. It's like we at DEGA, we want this to be owned by you, by the community, but we're here to support you. It's like, if you need to understand how to build, like a really awesome image, or like how to get your language right, how to address this, how to talk about this, it's like, I'm here for you. I'm always trying to answer questions when I can. Freak is on Discord every night in an open channel, like doing design and creative stuff. Jump in there, take advantage of his experience in building this type of stuff. Richie's always around. Richie is a social media genius. Talk to him, find out what we can do to make that happen, so that so it's not just you out there experimenting, but you're also learning along the way too, and we'll learn with you.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Yes, even last night we spent time together in the channel, in the voice channel. It was Freiler, Zeke, we had Sheridan, we have C Straight. There was a bunch of us in that channel. We were talking about how to combine the challenge of DEGA, the 3x challenge, sorry, with the Optim bond. Trying to multiply
Huge.
that reward,
Huge.
dude. It was like we were looking at the numbers and we were like, holy shit, how do we make this work? This is 120x on the reward. This is insane. So we were playing around with numbers, and then we had to learn how to create bonds in Optim. So we all also got together and went to the Optim page, connected the wallet. Zeke was recording his screen so we can share that video with the community. So it's not out, but I think something's coming up. Something's coming.
Well, here's the thing, okay? Do you think all of these partnerships that we're throwing at you are for nothing? Do you think that Carlos and I are very, very, very value oriented? So it's like, what is the most value for us in our community by partnering with these people? There are other tools out there that we have already talked about that can amplify everything that you're doing in this. And there's part of it where it's kind of like, me as a dad, it's like I can't spoon feed you absolutely everything. Some of the things you got to get out there and start doing it yourself. Look at the landscape and the ecosystem of all the partners that we provided to you. Use them for your success in this. It's like all of these partnerships have a little bit of something that can be brought together to make this a success for the community.
I know, Daddy.
and you're going to fall, and it's like, we're not, there's going to be little mistakes that are made along the way, but mistakes are part of being successful. You always hear that on social media, make a mistake, it's okay. It's like there are really critical mistakes that you could make, but because you have a lot of people around you, it's like having those different points of view of what works and what doesn't will make you more powerful as a group in the end.
Dude, it's do you agree? Like, just so we're talking about this topic, and just my two Satoshis, he's like big part of our community, asked to come up, and
Yeah, I know
and
that guy.
I don't know. we all know him, and we know Katoshi. We know Katoshi.
Hey, good morning, guys. Can you hear me okay?
What's up, brother?
Hey, I'm actually driving right now, so I'm not sure if you can hear me.
We can.
Okay.
We can.
Perfect. Well, first of all, congratulations to everybody. Katoshi and I are very excited about this new partnership with Optimum. In fact, last night I was trying to figure out how do I another 100K to the staking pool. And my question to you is, I have my ADA in the Yorori wallet, which Optim. So how do I connect? Basically, how do I get those staking rights to be added to the Yorori wallet? Because I know an Optimum, they only have Euro or Nami wallet and other wallets, but not Yorori wallet.
Oh, I don't have an answer for you on that right now, but I'm sure checking it out after this, because I guess that wallet is used by a lot of people. Yesterday I did it with Eternal. I don't know what wallet the others were using.
Yeah, there's actually somebody, as soon as we announced the partnership back in the like back a couple of weeks ago, somebody actually created a almost a how-to guide on how to do that. Carlos, do you know where that is?
I do not.
Okay, because I remember somebody was already somebody like did it and like posted something about it. So I would see if you could go and find that.
I see.
I'll
Yeah,
look for it also. I'll look for it
And I may
also.
be
And
mistaken. I mean it, but I do remember very, very early. Carlos came to me as like somebody is already doing it. So learn from them.
Yeah,
yeah,
we
for
could.
sure.
Yeah, we'll bring in the opt-in team as well. Like, I mean, that we're gonna do that this week actually, right? To like bring them on board and have them introduce themselves and everything. And but you know, they had an issue there with their Discord, so they're a little bit occupied right now. But yeah, we'll get that done, right? Like, we'll bring them on board and make sure that they can connect with you directly.
Yeah, that's in my little notebook to get that going.
yeah, and there's still an AMA, an AMA happening soon with them. So these kind of questions we will be able. We still have 5 epochs to go, I think, before supernova runs out, because you want a supernova that bump, that
That,
boost.
that's right. Yeah,
Ex-
it's just super. It's super. I don't know. It gives you more power, right, to those who don't have that much ADA, right?
mhm.
To be able to have this 100,000 ADA for, say, I don't know, 1,600 ADA, to give you that much
Yes,
power. It's just so powerful. It allows everybody to have some, a piece of the pie
Leverage.
without having to invest such a large amount of yeah, exactly, leverage.
Yep.
yeah,
That's
it's
that's
exactly the
that's what
same.
it's all about.
It's exactly what I'm doing. And yesterday, throwing the numbers and looking at like the minimum market caps, like doing all those things, it was like, oh my god,
I
this is
know.
amazing. This is insane. It's like, why? It's like everyone should be jumping in their toes. It's like if they knew. So we gotta communicate more. Like, okay, the DEGA Grand Challenge is amazing. The 3x is insane. 200% is. I love you guys for coming up with that. And the dynamic of getting the community together is working, because last night it was 12, it was midnight for me, and we're still going and figuring everything out while building the dragon, the Dega Dragon, Ada Elf, and the Optim Fox adventure story.
Good stuff.
Oh, freak, I love you.
Good
I
stuff.
really do, brother. I really do.
Me too, bro. But it's making everything also, part. We have our lore. This is a gaming community at the end. So Satoshi, we'll look for that information, and I'll look for those videos. If not, I'll try to figure it out, or we all figure it out together.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Okay, bro.
Of course, man. Drive safe.
Thanks. Thanks.
I hope you pulled over for this. Yeah.
All
So
right, guys.
okay, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it for today. You know, I got a few other meetings, so I'll take the rest of the time, the hour there to prepare. Um, got major news coming in the next 3 weeks, so stay tuned, everybody. I'm sure
Oh
you'll,
yeah,
as
yeah.
everything, you'll
I
be
hate you.
excited
Don't. Why you have to say that?
because we need people like to know that the news are coming, so they need to be like
put it this way. It is a confluence of major partnerships and a confluence of new functionality that we're going to be launching that will put all of us on the map. So if you can bear with me, because some of this stuff, as you've heard me say before, and I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy again. Paperwork. There's some paperwork that needs to get done before we can like completely finish this, and meetings that need to actually happen before we can actually start doing this deployment. But the seeds have been sown. So it's like, all this time, it seemed like things were quiet for a little while, for a couple of weeks there. But that was Carlos. I sent Carlos a message last night and I was like, dude, this plan that we put together, I am honored to be working with someone like you, because it's like, it is beautiful. It is a freaking rainbow team of excellence that is going to be coming out of here like real soon. And for all you corn fans on the call and all you corn fans out there, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's you guys are going to freaking freak out. It's going to be wonderful. Wonderful. So that's kind of like my hint. I woke up very, very energized this morning, letting all that kind of like sink in, what Carlos and I talked about yesterday. I'll just say it's gonna be wonderful. And then I've got a lot of writing to do over like the next couple of weeks. So if I'm not as available, I'm going to try and stay available for the grand challenge and everything like that. But you're going to be in good hands with freaking Ricci to be your consultants on what you need to do to be able to be successful in the grand challenge. But I'm going to be pushing probably close to like 15 partnership and announcement posts coming up over the next like 3-4 weeks. So when I say buckle up, I mean buckle up. You better have like the race car drivers, seatbelt system ready for this one.
Race car driver system. Okay, I think Carlos needs to go, but Rabbit, we also have the Freaky Friday, so
yeah, I got a call that I got to do after this. So when are we gonna get together and do that? Because another thing is, like I said, I am trying to like pre-write these blog posts today.
Okay.
I'm gonna have I wanted to have a focus day today to like get all this stuff in line. But when are we going to do that? Because I want to be there for that. Because you and I get a chance to,
yeah, it
still
starts.
be DEGA,
It starts in 3 minutes.
Oh, I got a call.
Guys. Okay,
all right,
Carlos, you
Carlos,
gotta go.
I'll talk to you
Take
later, brother.
care.
Bye-bye. Thank you everybody for joining us.
So I got a call.
Thank you, Carlos.
I got a call at the top of the hour. How long do you think we're going to go? Because I can like join.
We're gonna go all morning. We're gonna go all morning for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. I do need to tell you something before you go into that call with those people. They contacted me, so I want you to ask. I want to ask you something.
Okay. Can you ask me here, or is it?
Yeah. They were asking me for knowledge and how to share with their, I don't know, I guess their community, their tribe, or their team, how to learn more about Web3, tribes, AI, like where to get that knowledge. They were looking to build kind of like a learning.
That's a big ask. That's a big ask because there's.
I told them, okay, look, I can build something for you custom made, or I can create content for you custom made, or you can watch this, and read this.
Yeah.
That was my answer.
It depends when it comes to AI and it comes to a lot of these things. It's like just saying, well, where do I learn about tribes? well, what do you want to know about tribes? It's kind of like, what's the
Exactly.
question here? Yeah, I always when I'm doing my when I'm doing my AI work, because that's my pedigree is artificial intelligence and analytics. What is the question you're trying to answer? What is the outcome that you're trying to achieve? And once you can nail those two things down, the learning around that gets a lot narrower so that you can focus in on what you want to do. So, so work on narrowing your question set and work on narrowing your outcome set. And I'm not talking about an outcome set of I want to be successful in the in the grand challenge. No, get narrower than that. Say, what is it you're trying to do? I'm trying to reach more people. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. And so once you get that narrowing down, the question of where do you learn about all this stuff gets a lot easier for us to help you with. Does that make sense, Freak?
It does. So thank you. But if you get a chance to like peek a little bit about what they're looking for, it's kind of it would be great to know. On the other hand, I have to jump to go to the Freaky Friday.
Yeah, at me in on this stuff, and I can help guide and direct.
Mm-hmm.
In the channels, and like I said, there's some things that we that we want to be communicating out there, and there's a lot of, like, we got Fryler on here, awesome creator. There's tons of stuff that we can collaborate on when it comes to this. But it really comes down to what is the outcome that you're trying to achieve, and what is the question you are trying to answer. And I can help with that because, like I said, I've been doing that type of work from a business and systems analysis perspective for close to 20 years. So it's like I can get you there.
Okay, bro. I'll loop you in. It's in LinkedIn, by the way. So everyone, hey, let's go to our Discord and let's have this Freaky Friday fun thing, and let's all talk, play, game, yell at each other, swear, and connect. And Rabbit, we'll be waiting for you to come. Richie, I hope you come. Everyone, Fryler, C-Stray, Crypto.
Huh? I was just gonna ask Richie to be my stand-in. So.
Oh, you gotta see me and Richie in action.
Richie, if you could be I don't know what your morning is like, Richie, but if you could be my stand-in, because these types of things, Freak needs a co-traveler.
I'm gonna tell you a secret about the Freaky Rabbit Fridays. Every time we all of them we stream in Twitch and YouTube, and we stream that from a streaming server on the cloud. So it doesn't happen from my computer because I need all my computer power to play, to game, to do everything. So we do it from a server, and the one who runs the server is Milendro, and for him, it's like when we end the show, it's already like 4 a.m. for him. So he always falls asleep during, and there's like a tail of streaming of like half an hour every day because he falls asleep, and I have to figure out how to wake him up. And so I write to his wife, I write to everyone, just a freaky tale for you to how do you say, backstage from our show.
Well, I'm gonna leave it in your hands.
Yep.
Freak.
Richie, let's go.
Everybody, thank you so very much for joining us. I'm so very grateful for every single one of you and your individuality, and watching you come together to do this kind of stuff. It's just wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you all. We'll love you. Let's have fun and make this happen. See you in Discord. Okay.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Okay. Bye. Ciao.
Bye now.
Picture there's music saying bye because I don't know why it's not working. Exactly. Like freaky frick, something like that.
Goodbye. Take care,
Bye.
everybody.
Take care, bro.